Hello and welcome to day 30. Today I've got something rather challenging to paint. Let me show you and let me get on with it because it's challenging is putting it mildly. This is a mango. Let me just think about it. This is a tropical mango chia parfait with edible purple pansies. I had to think about it a lot because it was a lot. It was a mouthful, and I needed some help from AI because I really couldn't tell what it was. Nonetheless, I will bravely attempt that parfait with some very vibrant colors. I'm excited to try with the new set of colors that I have here. My 72 color watercolor pencil set. So as you can see over here, I have 3 layers of pencils, and I need to pull out the yellows, um, maybe a lighter yellow too. We definitely need a nice dark purple, so let me pull that out too. So that's 3 colors. Then a little bit of black, for sure. Is this black? This is yeah, this is black. So black. Let's put this away. Oh yeah, a nice purple color here too. Oops. Yeah, that's purple. Oh, a nice deep yellow. So this is good. Should I take pink? I'm not sure. Maybe not. Let's go down to the next layer. Okay, so perhaps this pink, or which is I think fuchsia. Yes, fuchsia. So I'll keep fuchsia, and I'll also keep a little bit of, well, not a little bit. This is carrot. What a lovely name. Carrot makes a lot of sense. Now I think I should keep a gray, so I'll pick a slightly darker gray, maybe this one, and let's see what it's called. It's called warm gray. I'm gonna keep this warm gray. And before I start, I just want to tell you that I have a free online class happening tomorrow and day after. For those of you who have never tried learning something online through an online class, attending an online class, you should consider coming. You can reach out to me via Facebook or Instagram to get the details. But we're going to try making some real fun stuff that kids love, adults too. These are some labels for books, which is excellent for kids who are in school. Something fun to do. So it's very beginner friendly. It's you don't have to have a lot of you don't have to have experience painting and drawing. We're going to just keep it really simple. So and then I made a few of these gift tags or gift labels which are meant to be used on different occasions. So I'm not sure how much we can achieve in an hour's class, but we are going to really try make art in a very simple manner. So if you are interested, please message me and I will let you know. This is happening tomorrow and on Saturday. Okay, off to start our tropical parfait. So I'm looking at this picture, and the first thing I'll do is draw my bowl. Now that is a challenge in itself. So I'm going to just wing it, which is what I've been doing the last few days. Not last few days, the last whole month, basically winging a lot of things, and it's not been all that bad, has it? Those of you who have stuck around, you will know the outcome's been fairly good. Tomorrow is the last day of the challenge, and I hope by then I have at least most of the prompts completed. Now, this is not looking like a great class. I need to just change a few things here and there, modify the shape a bit, right? Yeah, that looks better. A little lower. What am I drawing? I am illustrating tropical mango, tropical mango chia parfait. Let me show it to you one more time. That's what we're doing. See? Um, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun because I'm already overwhelmed, and if I'm overwhelmed, I can only imagine what you must be thinking. What will happen? Well, something fun will happen. That's for sure. I'm going to just put in this wobbly line, and maybe now that I've drawn this, I don't need to spend too much of pencil work. I don't need to do too much of pencil work. So let's put the flower in here. There is a pansy sitting here, right? Some sort of a shape like this. I'm not being very particular. One flower like thing over here, not flower like, it is a flower, and in the center we have something happening. Leave that space. We have some mango chunks, and the chunks are going to be interesting. I'll make something that has edges. I want to say cube shaped, but in a picture like this, cube is really not, I mean, being precise about the shape is not really going to work. We're going to make something that looks like a cube. Okay, let's just simplify it to that point. So something happening here that has sides, one bit here, another here. Okay, just a guide, and I know this is all light in pencil. I'll just hold it up to you so you can see. Okay, one cube here, a little bit of yellow here. Again, not capturing everything, just want to show some few things, and that's it. Some flower here, okay, and one peeking out here. Done. We'll figure out what's happening there. Under this are some chia seeds, so we're gonna have chia seeds in this layer over here, and below that is the lovely purple color of the, I believe this is the bottom layer is dragon fruit. I'm not sure, perhaps it is. Okay, so with that done, I will just gently erase excess lines. Oh, I should have shown this to you. Let me show it to you. Hold it up a little closer so you can see the outline. Can you see this? Very basic, just giving me a general idea where to put the pencil colors. And here are my watercolor pencils. Now, I will start. It really doesn't matter with watercolor pencils. I discussed this yesterday. It doesn't really matter which color you use first, because unlike wet watercolor, this is not going to spread and mix very easily, which means most of the time you'll find your color sitting right where you placed it. So don't worry too much which one you start with. I'm going to start with purple because it's caught my eye, and I love the color. So that's the purple, right? The purple ends somewhere here. I'm just putting a wobbly line. Now this is not purple, this is fuchsia as a color. This is fuchsia, but I noticed that this part of the bowl which receives light, or not the bowl, the cup receives light. um, that's okay. That's okay. I'm happy you're here. You're able to see it. So this side does receives more light, and the other side doesn't. So we are going to just shade our color in a little carefully. This is the fuchsia. I will now go in with a purplish shade over here, right? So let's bring that color in. You'll notice I'm not being very particular about how this color is applied, just as long as it is applied. Okay, so that's this color, and that is, what is this, violet. And the next color I'm going to take is this darker shade of mauve. Mauve is the color. By this point there is almost no light hitting this side. It's quite a dark section, so we're just going to put mauve in there, nicely dark. I think this pink needs to be a little darker. I mean, just um, my sensibility is telling me it should be a little darker. So let me apply just a wee bit darker. I don't want to come back and touch up too much. Yeah, should be good. Next, Now this layer is white with gray dots on it. So I'm going to leave that for now and do the rest of it, which is the mango. So mangoes, let's start with the yellow, light yellow, which is right now, what yellow is this? Femtillin token. Search that up. You know what? I'm going to search that up. Fentanyl. Sorry, fentanyl? Is it fentanyl? Token. Interesting. I will look it up. I am curious now. You got my interest piqued. Okay, I'm putting in a very rough, I don't want to say rough. Well, it's not rough. It's just a very quick application of color at this point. More on the right because, like I mentioned, lighter color here, the lighter yellow here. But that's not to say you can't put in a little bit on the other side as well. See? Now go in with a slightly darker yellow. This is golden yellow. So golden yellow comes in more on this side. So I'm going to color this in golden yellow, this portion. And I'm always looking at the sides of the shape that I've drawn. So there is something here that could be darkened. Then a little bit on the top over here. Yes, that could be darkened. A little bit of shading here. I'm not going into too much detail. Maybe a little bit of shading here. I can see there is something underneath here. And on top, very little actually, only here. A gentle touch of that color. Okay, not going into too much of. Okay. Now with this done, I will take the next color and maybe skip this one. What is this? Mango. What a strange color to miss. We're drawing mango and we're not using mango, so let's use mango. That is so funny. Let's skip this color, but it's the color we need to use. Alright, so we have to use mango. Let's just bring that in. Adding too many colors really won't make so much of a difference. Maybe this mango will be a little better applied in the second and the third round. So I'm going to go with my gut and continue with the darkest, which is a more orangish shade around this corner near the flower at this point. Now by this point it's so dark, it's not even orange, it's almost like brownish and I can't see it. So I'll just probably take a little bit of black, gently rub it over the yellow, leave it. Okay, so that's my yellow. Am I missing something? It looks like I am missing a light color over here. Yeah. Okay, like I said, I'm just being so loose with this. I'm not worrying. There also seems to be a slide, of color, and it's nice and orange. But having said that, it is sliding over the chia seeds, some sort of a honey-like texture, which is going over the chia. So if I don't draw the chia now and then do that later, I'm going to have some sort of problem, I think. So I'll leave this for later. Now on to the purple. Now the flowers are not all white, purple at this point. At this point, it's a little white. So what I'm going to do is just put a few strokes of pink at a few places, and when I spread it with water, it will lighten, which will keep it, just as light as I want it. It won't be very bright. This one, on the other hand, we have a little bit of yellow, so let me put the yellow in first. Now between yellow and purple, obviously yellow is the lighter color, so consider putting that first so that your purple can sit around it. So this is purple. What is this color? Violet. Okay, violet. So let's take violet, color in all the leaves, petals. I'm always a little sleepy around this time, so pardon the words just falling out some occasionally. Okay, that's purple, but it's not very violet, but it's not very dark. So I'm going to just put in the next one as well and superimpose a second color on this, just to give it a little more deep, some sort of a deep feel or rich feel. See? This is mauve. So I have definitely got dark mauve over here. So let's press that down a little bit. And then over here too, a little bit of dark mauve going in. And on the other side, there is a dark mauve here, visibly dark. And this is important because if I make this mauve, you can finally see this petal, right? So very important to tactfully put your color. There is some color that's being put that's going to be the outline of another color that is sitting in front of it. Okay, with this much done, I think I can start wetting my paper. So let's wet it with the brush. I have here a size 4, I think, and I'm now using plain water. This is actually supposed to be clean water, but I used it for the pinks yesterday, and I'm just going to continue using it. It's not going to make much of a difference. So clean your brush, because if you've got any remnant paint in it, you don't want it to come mixing up and messing up things. Start with the lighter shade. Always start with the lighter shade. Go in to the darker shade. This will make your blend nice and uniform, or let's say you will be able to see the lighter color. Otherwise, the dark will overpower the light. So if you want to see the shading, go from light to dark. From light to dark. You'll see me just skimming over. And this is one of the reasons why I said, the application of a color or, two different colors is really not going to, it's not going to make a very big difference, because as you can see, even though I'm wetting it, it's not moving. See, the light color stays where it is, the dark color stays where it is. So there seems to be some sort of a, I don't want to say it seems to be, but I assume that because we are using very little water as compared to normal watercolor, a lot of things are under control, right? Pigment is already placed. So okay, now touching this up with water instantly takes away the feeling that um, this is pencil color. See that grainy, that texture that comes from the um, pigment being laid on paper that has some tooth. This is cold press paper. That feeling goes away the moment you apply water. It smoothens the whole look. So this is so textured. Now look at what happens. Just applying water over it makes it so calm, serene, well balanced, well mixed. See, wakes up all those particles. And now as I go to the left, the darker shade, it's evident. See, so I'm going from lighter to darker. Okay. Oh, that's nice. Managed to get that dark bit in. Okay, that's good. Now that that's done, let's go to the flowers. Now these flowers I will do in my fat brush itself, but as I go to the smaller flowers, I'm going to be careful and change my brush to a smaller one. So start with the lighter ones, always move then to the darker ones. That way your pigment is not, dark pigment is controlled. Wash again, light to dark. Now change the brush, go to a size 0, 00. This way I can just bring in a little bit of pink, a hint of pink on these whitish flowers. They are white flowers with purplish pink centers, right? So try and get that in. Okay, This much is done. Now we can probably put in the chia seeds. But before I put the chia seeds, I want a little bit of shading. We've done this with the mango. We've done this with the bottom. Uh, what is it? Dragon fruit. Uh, it's light on the right and darker on the left. So let's bring in gray and darken the shade the white portion as well. So by applying a light coat of gray onto this side, only onto the left side. Sorry, yeah, this is right left. Sometimes I really need to think what is right and what is left. Strangest thing ever. Okay, so I'm putting it on the left side, and I'll just deepen this color a little bit with my gray. Warm gray, I believe. This is warm gray. Yeah, warm gray. Now that I've got that shading in, the fat brush, clean it nicely. We don't want any fuchsia. Start with the middle section. There's nothing on the right that is colored. Start with this middle section. Activate that gray and drag it towards the left. Drag the water towards the left. Wet your brush again. Drag the water towards the left. And if your water puddles a bit, it should puddle only on the left. Okay, that will make sure that all that gray is sitting at the right place. See, a very mild coloring. Okay, now comes the detail. Oh, I love details. For details, I take my trusty palette, which has been over the days, last few days, been piling up a lot of color. So I take this and I start adding the detail that I want to add. So one of the details I want to add are these little dots. There are some dots in here and I want to darken this. So what I will do is take the darkest shade. This is mauve. Take a little bit of mauve. Take a paper cutter and just scrape in some pigment. I always say this and I will repeat it again. Don't take too much pigment. Work with little. Little can go a long way. Start with, and when you are adding detail, preferably a smaller brush, thinner brush rather, a thinner brush. Add in a few drops of water and be patient while you stir the pigment to life. Bring the pigment to life. Okay, so here's my pigment taking shape. It's going to be a little thick, creamy. If you feel it's too thick and too creamy, please add one more drop of water till you reach a consistency that is comfortable. So you may start off thinking it is actually thin, but when your pigment powder, all those shavings that I just now put in, when they dissolve, the paint will get dark. See, it's quite dark. Now along with this, I'll start over here. I'm just thinking perhaps what I'm doing is not right. Perhaps I should put this border a little darker, and maybe I should just use a fatter brush, because I suddenly realized I should add a little deeper, richer color on this side. See? And as I come to the left, I can get darker. See? This is because I really felt that the color that I put first has not done justice. Over here, I'm putting in the gray. You will think, what a crazy thing to do. But the color itself, the light doesn't reach any part of this end. And so it is really dark at this end, at this side. Okay, so I really need that gray to be there. Next, I'm going to take some more gray and fill in this portion here. So the gray, let's just pull out our gray, see whether I can apply it. Can I apply it? No, it's wet. So sometimes when the paper is wet, you really can't get any pigment off. And if you do get the pigment off, it turns out very dark, which is probably not what we want. Let me instead put that gray. I don't have a clean palette, so maybe I'll do it here. uh, put a little bit of gray here at this corner. Shavings. Okay, continue with that fat brush because I'm making a very, put in a drop of water, dissolve this gray. Now when you're using watercolor, we usually don't first of all realize that watercolor dries light. Secondly, we are very worried about getting the color too dark. As a result, what do? We apply very hesitantly, which is really something we should avoid. Hesitate, yes, but once you've got the idea, I mean, once you're aware that your pigment is only moving so much, it's not doing any more, I think you can take the liberty of a little more generous application. See? Now here, there, it's lightening off. Alright, that's it. I'm not going to touch it. Now I want that orange color on the mango. So what I'm going to do is, again, scrape some orange. I already have some orange here which is mixed with brown, so I will use that as well as some more orange. So orange goes on to this section. Now these color pencils or watercolor pencils are soft. I'm surprised to see that they are soft. Go easy when you're scraping a soft tip. Okay, just go easy. You don't want to break the tip entirely. Okay, that's water. I really find this tedious, the whole process of dissolving the pigment, although I know this is what I have to do if I want to get the results I want. So swirl, swirl, swirl. Good time to think through the strategy. With watercolor pencils, I have not been able to get very loose. When I say loose, I mean like taking paint and slapping it on quite liberally and comfortably onto the paper. I've not been doing that. It's mostly been, you know, careful application, worried where it will go, what I am doing, that kind of a thing. So now in these rounds where we add shades, this is where we should get a little more bold, you know. So let me put in a little bit of color here, a little bit here, and it may look like, oh my goodness, what is happening? What are these little marks? The best thing to do, clean up your brush after this. Okay, and with your clean brush and slightly tapped off, blend. The key to all success now is blending this such that the edges look nice and neat, not sharp. See, now this is a sharp edge, right? So clean your brush and wipe it and then just blend it into the yellow that is lighter. Now some places you definitely want it sharp. For example, here I want that space to look like a clear edge. So here I don't. Here is okay. Here too I have some sort of underlying. Now here I'm going to just draw a line because it separates the two pieces. See, I'm not taking more pigment, I'm simply moving the pigment that's already there. See, here do I want this to be so sharp? No, soften it. Underneath over here too, use the pigment that's on your brush and soften it. Now here I see a shading, so use the pigment on the left but not on the right. And here too, pick up a little bit of this and just apply it here. So we are really playing around with using laid down color to blend and create some quality to those shapes. All right, I think now it's starting to take some shape. Now let's go on with the chia seeds. So for the chia seeds, I have here, oh my, I didn't clean that. It's got purple on it. So I have gray that's already here, but I'm going to mix in a little bit of black. So just scrape in a little bit. That's it. See, and we really need a small brush now because seeds are the seeds are small, right? And this can be painstaking because you're gonna have to draw them, and I don't have a real solution for getting out of that one. But before we draw, just gently run your brush under these mangoes to create some sort of a shadow. See, a slight shadow, not everywhere. Maybe here, look at a picture and you should be able to tell there is a shadow here at the edge of this. See, over here, there seems to be a shadow. There seems to be some shadow out here too. See, over here. So just catch these things early on, and if it's too dark, go pick it up with a clean brush. Okay, so here it is. This part is actually quite dark. I am going to have to be a little more liberal with my gray. So somewhere here, see. Now that I have a little shadow, I can go in and put all those chia seeds. Now don't add every now and then, add more and more paint. A little bit of water here and there will give your chia seeds a more, I'm looking for a word, a natural look. See, some of them are light, some of them are dark. So place your dark seeds at certain places where the paint is more concentrated. See, like this. Place it at a few places. And then as your paint starts to fade, move around and till it gets light, of course. You can't use it very light. See? This is so much of fun for me. It's what I really enjoy about food art and just generally. I love the detail. It's the pleasure I seek in a lot of my paintings. Dip in to water, go into your gray, and then continue making these random shapes at different places. Move your brush around so that one color doesn't get concentrated at one place. Now my color is getting a little more concentrated. I'm going to move it more to this side where a little darker color won't hurt, because if you want to see the chia against the shade, the shadow, the darker portion, it needs, the chia itself needs to be a little darker. So you can do that. Again, move around a little bit, get a variation. Make some a little smaller, little off size, maybe a little cluttered together, some sort of a. It can be easy to forget that you are looking at a reference. So if you can just occasionally look up at your reference, that will be good. Now what I'm noticing is at the edge of this, when your paint becomes really light, after drawing many chia seeds, with that light gray, just come here and run your brush along the edge of that cup. See? That edge needed a little bit of light, definition. So remember to run your light gray shade along that edge. Now I'll apply a few more strokes here, see a few more colors, few more chia seeds, and then I will again, when this lightens, go to the side. Run this light gray along this edge. See, starting to look a bit like chia seeds. And this is supposed to be coconut milk. So chia seeds and coconut milk is what I'm told this is. Now here I see a lot of darkness, so I'm going to just go in and highlight this portion, get it nice and dark. Then comes this portion here where I see that same sort of a darkness. So bring in those details. Now there are some more dark portions, but it's not black. I need to probably put in a little brown. I'm not going to pick brown. I'm just going to use the brown that I had taken last time. See, it's a brownish shade. And I'm going to put it where I see shadows here. Here there is light, but the shadow is not so dark. Lack of light, but the shadow is not so dark. It is not black, it is brown. So let's put in that brown shadow here. It really is dark brown, okay, because of the yellow mango. So I just want to get that in. Now I have managed to leave a small sliver of white. I'll see if I can maintain that, because if I did maintain it, it would look like the rim of the glass, right? So try not to go lose it. Since we have the white, try not to lose it. See? Now that stands out a little bit. Okay, going back to the brown, do I see that brown anywhere else? Yes, I do, over here. Now these little things, it may look like little, but they define the shape that you have added over here. So if you want the border of your mango pieces to stand out, you definitely want to put this in. Here, not much. Clean your brush or use a little bit of yellowish orange and just smooth out these portions. I have something here that is dark. Yeah. What do I see over here? Some little. So I told you there was honey, and now I want to show that honey sliding down over here. So I have the orange. We'll water it down a little bit, just the edge over here. And with that watered down color, let's just go down. This is going to be a very conservative action, meaning what I mean by that is I'm trying my best not to go over and over the paint with the brush. I don't want to go over and over these black spots. If I start going over and over, you're going to lose the black spots. So just let that honey sit over it very gently. And once that's done, you're okay. You're all right. So it is just to make sure those spots don't disappear. Two more times, if I run that brush over it, it's gone. Okay, so here I see some shading. Yeah, I think that's good, looking fine. Now for the purple. Now this is looking very patchy to me, so I'm going to just touch it up. It needs some touching up, and it needs to be darker. So what I'm going to do is I will take a little bit of mauve. I have mauve right here. I'm going to see what happens from mixing a little bit of, or maybe not mauve. Let's take another color. Let's take this. I think I've already scratched out so much of the mauve. Let's take this color. Now because this is a second layer of paint we are putting, don't have to worry about making it too thick. Just dissolve. Let it dissolve. One drop. Swirl it around. See? One more drop. in watercolor, I've noticed that sometimes we get a little enthusiastic and may add more water than we need. The solution to that is, of course, put more paint if you want it darker. But that's just one solution. The other solution is get on with some other color, paint something else on your picture, and the water in this mix is going to evaporate. And you're going to get the thick paint anyway after a little while. So decide whether you want to really add more pigment, or can you just wait and let the water do what water does, if that makes any sense. Sorry, I'm just talking my thoughts, speaking my thoughts. There you go. See, now the purple is the color is deeper, nicer. Now I still feel the contrast is not coming out. I need to have more contrast, so I think I need a bluish tinge to this. We're going to mix it in here, and for this I need to go back to my colors and pick a bluish purple or indigo color. Let's see if you have any. Yeah, I have a blue. Not sure if that will work. Let me keep this here. Pick that out. So I do have a dark purple. What is that color? Let's see. Oh no. That pencil just jumped off. The horror of dropping a pencil. Amethyst. Okay, I'm going to keep amethyst out. And I'm also going to keep this dark blue. What is it? Indigo. That's the color. So indigo and amethyst. Let's see what we can do with these two. Put this back in. Close that up. So indigo and amethyst. Here we go. Scrape that in one corner. And scrape in the indigo at another corner. Now, do I not want to mix it? No, I will mix it. And most likely, there's the likelihood I will mix it. So I'm just keeping it aside so I know where I put what, right? Okay. Now a smaller brush is important because I'm not applying this in liberally. I'm just doing it at certain places. Ah, look at that amethyst. What a lovely color. So the amethyst has to start going here. Now I told you, observe where the darker portion is. So this inner part of this flower is dark, and that makes the flower in front visible. See? So now you can see this. Same way, you can pick that color and just put some over here. Now, shouldn't we blend this? Yes, we should. Clean your brush, tap it, and just blend it. Unlike regular watercolor, everything's already so thick over here. Nothing's moving, right? So keep that in mind when you blend. You may need a little more water. Now I'm going to darken this portion, and this portion is actually quite blue. So I'll come to this side, get that indigo moving, okay, and start applying indigo in the center where it is quite dark. So over here, right, this portion here, quite dark. Let's take that indigo and continue some strokes here like this. There is also some sort of a shade here of that same indigo. It has a bluish look, right? That's how you know it is a nice deep shade. Then go back to your pinkish color and fill in, merge, blend, or whatever you need to do to make this look better. See, darker portion. Then take the lighter one, blend it. Yeah, okay, some definition there. Now we can extend this to take a watery purplish shade and let's add some detail here. See, a watery purplish shade somewhere here, over here, outline it a bit. That may allow you to see, permit you to see some shape to the flower, right? Outline it with a light color and then go in with the darker color. So there is a very dark purple in here. I'm just going to be very careful doing it. Okay, right here, like this. See? And over here too, a little bit of that dark purplish blue color. And on top, we don't see too much of it. So I'll lighten it and use this lavender that I have, very light lavender, and just put a few lines and strokes. Yeah, that's good enough. Maybe a little more pink, just a wee bit over here. Yeah, that's it. See? So you got most of it now. And now finally, the best part is the shading. Now I have ignored royally the glass itself. It's nice to put that detail in. So for that, what I will do is I will take the gray, clean my brush nicely, touch up this gray. You remember in the gray we put a little bit of black too to make it darker. We're going to use that and start adding very fine details. So one of the details is right here. Look for the blackest part of the glass, and it's right here at the edge. It comes in like this. It's a little thick on this side and it comes in, right? Now there's another part where the glass is dark, and that's right here underneath. Underneath there is, the double walled, or it's not double walled, it's just glass. The way light disperses in glass, that makes it look like it's thick. So there seems to be like there is a layer of whitish, grayish, blackish color right here, making it seem like glass, right? So putting in that little bit of detail really, now here too, a sliver of white. And then of course at the border here, you can show a wee bit of dark, the border here. The side of the glass doesn't seem to show, the thickness of glass, but the top and the rim, it definitely does. Now I'm using gray, but a lighter version of it. You take color and you just wipe it on the palette. That will itself make it light. And then just make a line and then a second line. See? So that gives it the effect of some glass. I think we're mostly done. Now if I want to spend time doing more, it's really just me being finicky. What is left? Yeah, the last part, of course. I keep saying last part. I've been saying last part for the last few minutes now, I think. You can take the gray, apply it here, closest to the glass. Closest to the glass is where the gray is deepest, right? And the light is falling, so the shadow is falling onto this side. So spread it outward as you go. And if you feel this is already quite dark, clean your brush and just spread it with a clean brush. See? Clean again and just let it kind of blend into the paper. That's it. In the picture, it's actually darker than this. It's actually quite dark. So if you want to do this, make it really dark, spread it out nicely. That's also perfectly fine. See? Oh, I did notice now, of course, because I'm trying to, like I said, trying to be a little finicky. I do notice some pieces of gray, I want to say gray matter, but that would just mean something else, right? So, gray hovering in the pink here. So I'm just going to like gently apply a few bits. I'm assuming this is some of the chia seeds that have gone in, or it could be just the dragon fruit, right? Because dragon fruit has got these lovely gray dots. So I do see them, and I'm not going to put too many, just a few, to indicate there's some texture in that dragon fruit mix. Yeah, that's it. I'm done. I could spend just as much time. So this is now about 50 minutes. I could spend another 50 minutes just fine tuning this, but really, to what end? Day 30 of 31. That's it, friends. One more day, and I am done with this 30-day challenge. Thanks for joining me. I will see you for the last session tomorrow. Bye.